friends, Jewel back with another super cool astrology video, and we are talking about Venus opposite Mars in Synastry. What happens when we have this super hot aspect between two people? So Synastry is when we take two birth charts and put them either side by side or one on top of the other, appropriate for Synastry, and we can see how two people relate, how they get along, how their energies interact with each other on a day-to-day basis, what it is that really makes them click or not click. So, Mars is the planet of aggression, how we get what we want, how it is we go after what we want, and where we put a lot of our energy and our style and our use of energy. Describes our style of sexuality a lot and our sexual desires. It's really the male part of our sexuality, as opposed to Venus, which is the female part of our sexuality. It's a lot about our desires, the feminine aesthetic, our relationship to our social life, other women. Describes females in general and is the feminine aesthetic. So they both describe different aspects to our attraction, sexuality, desire. So when we have these in opposition, and if you don't know what an opposition is, you should go back and find my video on what is an opposition, and that'll give you a lot more information about this. So when we have these opposite each other, they are going to be sitting on either end of the wheel, and you will see a red line going between them, because red lines in most programs represent oppositions and squares, difficult aspects. So they have a very good view of each other. And when two planets are in opposition, they share modality. So they're either going to be fixed, cardinal, or mutable. So they have something in common when we have oppositions. It's not like a square where they are in, total tension. They see each other, and there is an attraction when we have oppositions going on. And there is a learning from each other that happens when we have this certain aspect. It's very much a mirroring effect. So what Mars desires and what Venus wants are not really on the same page. Now, they kind of are, because oppositions do have something in common, but they require compromise in order to achieve success. So because oppositions are both attractive and not attractive, then it depends on how we use that and how much success we end up with. So there is a back and forth when it comes to the attraction and the sexuality and how this should be handled. So these are the two sexual planets in a chart. So when we have any aspect between Mars or Venus, there's going to be some fireworks, because these are two very personal, important, driven parts of the human being. So whenever they are in tense conversation, we are going to notice when it's Venus and Mars. Mars can be seen as very insensitive. Venus can be seen as too passive. And they have to learn to balance out the give and take in regards to fulfilling their sexual and emotional needs. So we can see some big flare-ups with this opposition. It's a bit like the Costanzas, these two, where they just go at each other and they're and then it's like nothing ever happened. So this is one where it's like fiery, and then, we're back to being buddies, and everybody else in the car is like, what just happened? So there is almost a volatility that goes with this opposition, but it's big flare-ups, and then everything is okay. It's not like a Mars, square Mars, where we're not going to let it go. It does get let go with this particular opposition. the giving and the taking needs to come to an agreement, because really these two are complementary. But it's after we do a certain amount of learning about each other and about, learning how to adjust our output of energy and love, we can come to an understanding of the other person's nature. So it's very much like two halves that don't really recognize each other, learning about each other and then coming together to make a whole. And it's like, oh, we do work. But they have to, there's a certain amount of, playing off of each other, getting to know each other, or tension that has to be solved before there's this great melding of the energies, and we can see that they actually work very well together when it comes to the giving and the taking of the desires and the selfishness and the giving become very much complementary to each other. Whereas before, when they're still learning about each other, it's like, I want you to do it my way. If only you would love me this way. If only you would look this way. You hear a lot of that from the Mars person. If only you would look this way, that I could be totally sexually attracted to you, even though they are very much sexually attracted to the Venus. So after they, very much achieve a compromise, there is a great meeting where they both end up feeling loved and desired at the same time. And there's a very mutual warmth and sexual understanding between these two when they can solve this opposition. So I hope you found this helpful. Please subscribe to my channel if you have not done so. Yes, I do private consultation. I specialize in partner astrology, love and intimacy astrology. You can find me on the internet at truthinAspectAstrology.com. You can find me on Facebook at Truth in Aspect Astrology, where I do the daily weather forecast, birthday descriptions, all kinds of articles. If you're not over there, you need to find me, and I will be starting my brand new blog and my expanded website soon enough. And I will be back really soon with more super cool videos. Bye-bye.